Hello, welcome to the next edition of the Wednesday Special, and today I'm going to be playing Soulflayer with the new Urborg Scavengers. So normally a lot of people have been switching to Neoform version of, Soulflayer plus Scavengers, but to diversify myself, I went the other direction. We're going to go more all in on those two as our main win cons, not necessarily Neoforming and Atraxa. So we're going to see actually how this plays out. We are a little bit more susceptible to Graveyard Hate than Neoform. But outside of that, we have a lot more sweeter options for cards. So let's see how this works out in our favor. Now, essentially we're playing 18 lands, which might be kind of low. We'll see within the initial playtesting. But we do have Gaze and Considers to set up our cards. So hopefully we could hit our drops and drops pretty consistently. The reason why I want to go this route is because this version plays Chromatic Core, which I think is sweet. I love the card, so we're going to go a little bit more old school. If you guys like this kind of content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video if you like. And let's get into the deck list. So as you can see, we have Urborg Scavengers, we have Soulflayer, we have a River Winder to make our stuff have hexproof, Zetalpa, which is just a really good magic card. It's a dinosaur, so it's sweet. And then we have, of course, our Chromatic Core, which is also pretty awesome. We have 1 dig, 4 considers, 4 pushes, 4 gazes, 4 Thoughtseizes, a few charter courses with founding the third path. Sideboard wise, we have Blackstone's Twilight. I'm kind of curious to see how this works out. The list that I've seen that I kind of mirrored off of, that got a 5-0, was running this card, so I included it. We have 18 lands, so I kind of wonder how consistently can we get the Vibram War Claws to be able to reanimate something, but I'm interested to see that. We have Duress for control, Stroke for mono green, Feed the Swarm as removal and enchantment hate, Etherborn for aggro. We have Brazen Borrower, just kind of a tempo play. We have 2 Go Blanks for graveyard hate and hand disruption, and a Scavenger, which also gets pretty big, has lifelink, pretty decent against aggro. So no further ado, let's see if we can't beat people with Soulflayer and Pioneer. Watery Grave, tap, go. Rock, Fall Veil, passes. Dark Slick Shores, we'll go ahead and chart a course. Discard Zetalpa, pass the turn. Mountain, Zeus's Many Journeys. Oh, that's sweet. Veil, Bushwhack to get a land. I dig it. So I have a couple options here. I could Gaze plus Soulflayer, or I could River Winder here. Cycle, and I don't necessarily guarantee. I think I have to Gaze. This is what I was afraid of. Like, we just didn't find anything. So Soulflayer, I mean, still was a decent threat here, but it definitely does not have hexproof. So pass the turn. He scoops it up. Can't deal with that. So against Gruul, maybe Disdainful Strokes. Down a course. Down a dig. Gorge for the opponent. Passes. Shores. Play the Shores. Thoughtseize. Ooh, that is sweet. Take Vornaclex. Pass the turn. Plays a Forest. Passes. Shores. Founding. I guess. That's fine. Cast Consider. I don't need a second Consider, so Bennett. Another Thoughtseize. I might just Thoughtseize myself to get rid of the Zetalpa. Stomper. Sweet little dinosaur right there. Gets a mountain. We will target ourselves. We draw a Soulflayer. Watery Grave. Untapped. Thoughtseize myself. Get rid of Zetalpa. And he scoops it up. He knows we have a Soulflayer. 1-0. Let's get into the next. And now, dig through time. That's not what I'm looking for. Play Catacomb. Tap. Go. Considers. I think this is correct. Pathway. So he's Grixis. That's sweet. I mean, I gotta admit, that's pretty cool. Kroxa. I guess Scavengers. And tap. Watery Grave. I was hoping I drew that last turn. Alright, Watery Grave. That's an awkward top deck. Cycle. Founding. Thoughtseize. Okay. Take Shelly. Pass the turn. Considers. Trying to find his lands. Watery Grave. You're not going to Thoughtseize me? Okay, he does. There's options here. I don't know if I necessarily want to just play Scavengers. Takes the Soulflayer. Alright, we untap. Chromatic Core. That's actually kind of interesting. So we will go ahead and play Scavengers. The River Winder, so he can't target it. Pass the turn. Next, we could eat Shieldred, give it Death Touch. No sack out. Please no sack. Removal. Corpse Appraiser. That's reasonable. He could definitely eat his own Shieldred to stop Death Touch. But he's probably going to eat my Soulflayer, yeah. That way he can work towards this, getting to this Croxa. Maybe that's the argument. Maybe I should be eating the Croxa on attack. Now he has 2 Croxas. So no matter what I do, he is going to get back a Croxa. Drown Catacomb. Foundry. I think I put it to 2. Target myself. See if I can get something good. I just exiled Zatolpa. So I think I go ahead and attack. Eat the Zatolpa. Ship the turn. Next, of course, I could eat Shieldred. And there's no point about the Croxa, right? Because you know he's going to get it. And we'll just pitch this Chromatic Core. Which, ironically, doesn't do anything. It gives me Trample, but I already have Flample. Hexproof. I only need a Death Touch, which this does not give me Death Touch. Oh, Vigilance, though. Vigilance might be the keyword I want. This also doesn't have Lifelink. So yeah, I might just... Oh, he ate the... How does he beat me, though? We go ahead and take Thoughtseize. I believe that's correct. Let's go ahead and just look at his hand. I don't care about any of these cards, so we'll just say consider. Go ahead and attack. We will eat the Chromatic. Now it has Lifelink, and it kills him. So against this matchup, looks like Grixis mid-range. Maybe some Duresses over Push. And Nighthawk might be decent here. Dig Through Time also looks pretty good. We want to be able to maximize card advantage. Maybe over... No, I'm actually fine, I think, with everything in this deck. Maybe I just don't need that. I don't like that. Watery Grave. Untap. Thoughtseize. Yeah, I mean, take my Thoughtseize, I guess. There's no way you're taking one of these 2 big boys at the back end. Does take it. Okay. Bell Pierce. Play the Shores. Thoughtseize. Take Consider, I guess. Summit. I'm assuming here comes Croxa. No, it does not cast Croxa. Watery Grave. Tapped. Pass the turn. Pathway. Croxa. We will pitch the Zatolpa. What else do you have? Nothing. Passes. Swamp. Not Dig Through Time. Kebbie. Foundry. Yes. Say 0. We Duress. Corpse Appraiser seems pretty decent. That means the Spell Pierce ain't gonna do anything. He's probably gonna play the Corpse Appraiser, eat my Zatolpa, which is relatively decent here. Or, so, yeah, Zatolpa, yeah, seems good. Plays a Canal. Passes. We go ahead and mill ourselves. What do we find? Nothing. I guess that means we get closer to just Dig Through Timing, so we just pass the turn and pray that he doesn't have any instant or sorcery that we need to deal with. So we will definitely take some damage here. He is not at the point where he can flat escape back a Croxa. Plays a Swamp. We go ahead and get back Dig. Play Dig. So we get Scavengers. And I guess Catacombs? Or Thoughtseize. Catacombs. So I don't want to force him to make him discard whatever he has in hand. And he gets Croxa back. We have no choice. I can't cast it. Play Catacombs. Scavengers. We will go ahead and eat this Riverwinder. So you can't target it. We pass the turn. Next turn we can eat a Ledger Shredder, which is pretty good. We do have a couple Spell Pierces up. Hits me down to 12. He killed his own threat. Just so he can get back Croxa. Okay. I mean, that's a thing. And I wouldn't be upset, actually, if I somehow top deck a Fatal Push, Graveyard, Graveyard, Graveyard. We will definitely discard a Spell Pierce. So now I guess we don't have flying. Okay, and we go ahead and play Gaze. Graveyard, Graveyard, Graveyard. Attack you. Eat the Croxa. Pass the turn. Opt. Unlicensed Hearst. Let's force him to pay the rest of his mana. So now he's pretty much tapped out. We will attempt to Gaze. Graveyard. Graveyard. We will Gaze. Graveyard. Top. Graveyard. It's my otherworldly Gaze. We go attacking. We will eat his Corpse Appraiser. Hit him for 5 to pass the turn. So as long as our yard is full, I guess we already used our dig, right? Yeah, we don't have another. Oh no, he made a sack our Scavenger. So Hexproof is no longer a thing. We should be drawing a Scavengers. Play the Scavengers. I mean, it doesn't really matter what I eat, right? Eat the Edict, grow the Dork, pass the turn. I mean, he has removal, he has removal. Plays the Steam Vents, tapped, drown in the wall. Alright, eats more stuff. Ugh, it's not a very good top deck. Blood is real, pass the turn. Corpse Appraiser, which there's nothing he could eat, so he can't really dig. Okay, but he can crew, hit me to 6. So he does win next turn. I need an answer, like right now. Nope, a Watery Grave does not do it. Go down some considers for more fatal pushes. I mean, how many high drops does he have? I don't think it's that many. Brazen Borrower, I guess, is an okay answer for maybe a Duress. I don't like that. River, pass the turn. Swamp, cycle, Thoughtseize. That might make him want to go for the Thoughtseize. Takes a Soulflayer. We'll go ahead and cycle. Trying to find a better land. There we go. Thoughtseize. Take Harvester. Pass the turn. Harvester. We untap. Swamp. Play the Swamp. Push the Harvester. Cycle. Pass the turn. Another Harvester. Okay. I mean, that's pretty good. Steam Vents. Untapped. So he's leaving up Impulse. Catacomb. Fatal Push. Pass the turn. We're not drawing any action here. Canal. Tapped. Passes. Oh my gosh. That ain't going to work. We just pass the turn. Uses a blood token. Gets rid of the other impulse. So far as I know, we don't know what he has in hand now. Corpse Appraiser. Eat a River Winder. Plays a Watery Grave. Passes. I need something here, please. Play the Scavengers. We do have a Spell Pierce, so that helps. We eat a River Winder. And pass the turn. So I think I attempt to Spell Pierce. That will make him want to pay the extra. He thinks we have something of relevance. And then we force him to take a Zatulpa. I mean, that's what we want to do. So, Mountain. Corpse Appraiser eats the Zatulpa. So we can eat the Ledger Shredder. Should attack with the Corpse Appraiser. Take it. Play the tap land. Go to combat. Attack. Eat the Shredder. So now it has flying. Pass the turn. Hits me for 6. I need something off the top that lets me put this game in a better position. Extinction Event on odd. So he eats his board. We lose our threat, which is fine. I think he had more to lose than we did, so that's reasonable. So I think we dig. Soulflayer is not needed. Eat the Swamp, I guess. Take what? Scavengers. Chart a Course. Chart a Course. Pitch the Zatulpa. Play a Watery Grave tapped. Go. Considers. Scavengers. Attempt to eat the Zatulpa. Scavengers. Eat the River Winder. Pass the turn. Considers. The only reason why we did that is because we want to be able to protect against the Edict. If he top decks an event, we just die. Corpse Appraiser. Eats a Blood Tides Harvester. Can we win this? Can we win this and go 2-0? This deck is pretty legit. Like, it's pretty good. We do get to gaze in his eyes and hopefully find something of use. We got a Shredder in there. So this at least gets flying, so we can fly over him for 8. Actually, we just win. If he passes, we win. So his best bet is to Croxa. But that's not even enough to let him win. I mean, we get rid of gaze. We do need to stack these triggers correctly, though. Because this one has to be the one that eats. Oh, I guess he eats the Shredder with the Croxa. Yeah, so that's what he had to do. Made me ditch my gaze. We do get to do it on... Still get to do it from our yard. Come on, gaze. Graveyard, graveyard. Well, that's not what I was hoping for. So if I attack with this smaller one, it's just going to die. So we swing out with the medium-sized one. Is there anything worth my time that's to eat? Not really. So we'll eat this Drown on the Lock because I don't like counter spells. Show you, opponent. Better known, he's a Zoo player. Played a lot of Zoo in Modern. Face him all the time. He's a good dude. Unlicensed Hearst. That's not enough to beat this Scavengers, though. It has all the modes under the sunset. Gives me the GGs. You go to 4. So this blocks here. This is indestructible. And I guess I trade? 2 and... Oh, let's get into the next. Watery Grave. Untap. Go. Dark Slick Shores. Thought Seizes. Gaze. Graveyard. Graveyard. Top. Catacombs. Pass the turn. Sanctum. Cycles a Riverwinder. Is this a mirror match? It might be. Gaze. Graveyard. Graveyard. Graveyard? Another Fatal Push. Pass the turn. Ouch. Dark Slick Shores. Scavengers. Eats his Riverwinder. Oh, this is going to be an awkward match. Just pass, I suppose. Looks like he's playing the Neoform version. If I had to guess, based off the fact that he has green mana. Tainted Indulgence. Maybe that's something I should look into. Then again, I don't really have any instant speed stuff other than Stroke in the sideboard to make this better than Chart of Course. But we are 2 colored, so it's not like black-blue is that hard. That's going to hurt. I think that means we lose. He takes my Zatulpa. He eats my Zatulpa. And how do I win from there? Ouch. He takes Soulflayer. Okay, so he already has Zatulpa, which makes sense. I don't think there's a way I can win from here. He just took our main win con. Thoughtseize. That's not going to do anything. So Fatal Pushes are definitely out. Droke seems mid. Etherborn seems mid. Borrower, maybe Scavenger. And Duress to get rid of the Neoform. I don't like that. Watery Grave. Untapped. Consider. Graveyard. Go. Tap Triome. That's got to make the deck slow, right? Watery Grave. Untapped. Bounding. Consider. Graveyard. Pass the turn. So we're going to try to set this up to where hopefully we can get... We're going to set an upkeep stop on ours. So we can gaze, hopefully find a land, bend something for these Soulflayers, and go from there. We definitely didn't want to land this turn. Oh my god. All lands. Alright. So we mill ourselves, which is actually going to help us more. Please, something good? We are very unlucky. So I guess we just pass the turn. They might be able to have Grizzly Salvage here. That is probably the only advantage of actually being in green. Because it's basically better, kind of better than Gaze, right? Gets rid of an Atroxa. Does that mean he has his namesake card? A little Scavengers? He does, which can get bigger than my Soulflayer. That's like what makes him so much better. So we need to get the Soulflayer down now. So we gaze. Graveyard. 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 Consider. Graveyard. I guess consider. Oh, I should have done Thoughtseize. Oh, that was bad. I should have Thoughtseized. Graveyard. There's a Tulpa. Man, we are unlucky. We go ahead and eat here, here. Anything else doesn't really matter. We take a Thoughtseize and a Founding. So we get Soulflare. Pass the turn. Super unlucky with our draws, though, with these Zatulpas. One Zatulpa would have allowed us to easily take care of the Scavenger. And you can't really target this. That's first strike, so it does trade with this. Salvage. Is he trying to find something better? Takes a Blooming Marsh. Gazes. Attacks. What do you eat? Zatulpa, right? Ouch. So now it has Death Touch. It has Indestructible. Yeah, that one slight mistake I think is going to cost us. Because now I can't get through this. That sucks. Overgrown Tomb tapped. Gaze. Graveyard. Graveyard. That's not going to do it. A Swamp. Yeah, I definitely messed up. Pass the turn. I feel like I definitely might have had a shot. Then again, this thing's eventually going to just get too big. And I don't think I could beat it. This just gets better every single attack. This is just restricted. It's strictly better Soulflare. The Death Touch, I mean, it just means 1 point of damage goes through. Collective Brutality. Drains me. Plays a tap land. There's no way I could do this, right? Because the Death Touch in first and the strike. So it's 2 and 2. Like, it's 8. And it's 6 going across regardless what I do. Actually, more than that. That was definitely a mistake. We ended up going 3 and 1. Let's get into the wrap up. So what did we learn this week about this deck? And honestly, I thought this deck was actually really, really good. We ended up beating Grixis mid-range, which is a very good deck. We ended up beating sort of mono green, even though it didn't get showcased on this video, just because of the fact that he scooped after like midway through game 3 when we won. We pushed it to game 3. He scooped midway through. I didn't really want to show that because it wasn't a full match necessarily. We ended up losing to kind of the mirror, but we ended up slightly punting that one away in game 2, where I should have founding Thoughtseized myself to get rid of his Zatulpa and then eat that with Soulflayer, which might have been able to get me lifelink, hit him, and maybe gain enough life to where it's a race. But even then, I guess that's not necessarily going to make me win the game, because his rug is bigger than mine, and it had Death Touch, which mine would not have, right? So we would deal all the damage to the thing and over. He would have dealt 1 and over. So eventually he would have probably won that fight. And his deck, like I said, Scavenger scales, Soulflayer doesn't. So that's honestly a big key difference here that I think is the reason why you want to play with Scavengers. And maybe Soulflayer is kind of subpar now. Just the fact that it has a tax trigger on it makes this card really pushed, really strong for competitive play. We just have to get a better job at filling the yard faster. I kind of want to try him something with like in a green-based strategy. So instead of, I don't know how you do it without blue. I guess you could, right? Because we have Grizzly Salvage as a possibility. Maybe there's like Seed the Hope, something like that in green, where I can self-mill myself. And I run Llanowar Elves as a way to get a Scavengers down turn 2, which actually would be kind of cool. But I don't know how good that would be. So if you have any suggestions at all, let me know down in the comment section. And please don't just say run Atraxa Neoform version, because that was not the goal of this. I wanted to play something different, because I don't play mainstream decks. I try to play brews that maybe have used to be a thing, which is original Soulflayer. I updated it for this version instead of course, slamming Atraxa and everything. Just like I don't usually try to slam Fable the Mirror Breaker and Shieldred and everything. Just because we know they are the best cards, we don't need to emphasize it. And I want to showcase other things that potentially could shake up the meta more than those 3 boring cards, because all 3 of them are very boring cards. And they kind of make Pioneer very boring. Like the meta's boring. So if I could do anything to help with that, that's my goal. Like I said, if you have any suggestions, let me know down in the comment section. If you guys like this kind of content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this video if you like. And until next time, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. Talk to you soon.